He pushed the paper across the table with the kind of smugness that oozes from men who've never faced real consequences. The courtroom held its breath, but his voice didn't need permission to dominate the space. "Sign it," he said casually. That fake white grin stretched across his face like it had been crafted in a dentist's chair. My wife sat beside him, legs crossed slowly, deliberately, like she was playing a part she'd rehearsed one too many times. Her lips curled slightly, a smug little twitch, as if this had been their private joke for weeks. Then he said it. "The judge is a friend. You're walking out of here with nothing, soldier." Soldier. That word. The same one she used to whisper to me like a promise in the dark. Now it was a sneer. I looked down at the divorce agreement. He slid over like it was a final verdict. Everything, assets, custody, future, was listed under her name. I was erased. He leaned in. "She said you'd freeze. Said you'd just sit there, too scared to say a word. Looks like she was right." "I'm watching," I said. "Calm. Quiet." But it hit him like a slap. His smirk faltered. Because I wasn't scared. I wasn't breaking. I was remembering. And in that memory, I was getting sharper. I first noticed the change when she came home late one night. No trace of her perfume. Just a scent I didn't recognize. Masculine. Manufactured confidence in a bottle. The kind of cologne men wear to impress, or to take something that isn't theirs. She lied too smoothly. Said traffic was bad. Said parking was hard to find. I kissed her anyway, pretending not to taste the betrayal on her lips. I kept my face still. Like a soldier surrounded. I knew how to survive in enemy territory. Then came the parties. The little signs. She stopped touching my hand under the table. Her laugh drifted away from me and followed someone else. And when he arrived, tailored, composed, too polished to be real, I saw it. I didn't call it out. I poured wine, smiled politely, and watched the way their eyes met when they thought I wasn't looking. Her phone habits changed. She kept it locked. Started sleeping with it under her pillow. Whispered in the dark. Words that weren't for me. She assumed I was too tired. Too broken to notice. But I was observing. I was collecting. War doesn't start with fire. It starts with facts. I learned her patterns. Studied the changes in her voice, her excuses, her touch. I dug into her call logs. Noticed a number she called often. It was saved under Casey Work. Same number she dialed the day after our anniversary. Then I made the hardest decision of my life. I requested a paternity test. Quietly. Privately. For the boy I had called my son. The only reason I hadn't already walked out. The envelope came back sealed. I stared at it for an hour before opening it. 0%. No doubt. No mistake. I didn't yell. Didn't collapse. I wrote the number down. Slipped it into a black envelope and taped it shut. Then I waited again. She began acting concerned. Asking if I was okay. Said I'd been distant. She didn't realize distance wasn't withdrawal. It was preparation. I hired a friend. Former intelligence. Tracked them both. What came back was a USB drive filled with video proof. Parking lot kisses. Hotel room check-ins. One clip showed him laughing. He's too stupid to ever figure it out. They toasted to it. To me. I gave her the envelope one evening. Just placed it on the table without a word. She stared at it like it might explode. "What's this?" she asked. I stayed silent. She opened it, read the result, and I watched the color drain from her face. "This doesn't change anything," she said too quickly. "You're overreacting." I set the USB beside her wine. "Play it." She didn't. She didn't need to. I could see something crack behind her eyes. She wasn't pretending anymore. The polished act slipped. Now here we were. Back in court. Him playing the confident snake. Her hiding behind false calm. And me calm, focused, ready. I didn't bring a lawyer. I didn't need one. "I'm watching," I said again, even softer this time. He chuckled. "So you're not going to sign?" I opened my folder. Took out the DNA results. Placed them face up. Then slid the USB across the table. And finally, I pulled out my own document, an emergency custody motion, with all the evidence attached. The judge picked it up, started reading. His expression turned cold. The entire room seemed to hold its breath. My wife started blinking fast, her fingers twitching. He stopped smiling. You recorded us, she whispered. No, I said. I documented the truth. He lunged for the USB, but I was already ahead. Already submitted. He turned pale. I stood. You thought I was scared? I looked at her. You thought I'd walk away with nothing? Then I turned to the judge. I came here to end this. Not to lose. They didn't move. Didn't speak. Couldn't follow. I walked out of that courtroom and left everything behind. Their lies, the betrayal, the life they scorched. I didn't feel like a winner. Didn't feel triumphant. Just calm. Because wars aren't won with noise. They're won with precision. With patience. With timing. Outside, the sun hit my face. I lit a cigarette I hadn't touched in years. And as I exhaled, I smiled. Because for the first time, they saw me for who I truly was. And it terrified them.